Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to dive into a really fascinating strategy that can turn your everyday spending into an actual source of income. And you know what? It's way simpler than you might think. It all just starts with changing one tiny little habit. So let me ask you something. When you go out to buy your groceries, or maybe grab a coffee, how are you paying for it? Do you pull out cash? Tap your debit card? Just take a second and think about what your go-to method is. Because what if that method, the one you use without even thinking, is actually a huge missed opportunity? What if you're literally leaving money on the table every single time you buy something? Well, the source we're looking at today argues that's exactly what's happening for most of us. Okay, let's just throw a number up here, 64,000. What is that? Well, that is the number of reward points the author of our source material earned in just 1 year. And the cash value of those points? Over 1,600 Brazilian reais, which is about $300 US. And they got all of this just by changing how they paid for things they were going to buy anyway. So, to really get how this works, we've got to start by looking at the hidden cost of the way we usually pay for stuff. Right, so here's the core idea from the source. Just think about it for a second. If a store charges you the exact same price, whether you pay with cash or credit, then paying with cash gives you absolutely no extra benefit. None. You get your item, and that's the end of the story. You've just missed out on the chance to get something more from that purchase. And that brings us to the heart of the strategy from our source. It's a really simple 5-step process that completely flips the script on how you spend your money. Okay, let's walk through this. Step 1. You pay for everything you possibly can with a rewards credit card. Now, step 2. This is the most important part for discipline. You immediately move the cash you would have spent into a separate high-yield account. For step 3, you just wait. That money now sits in that account, earning a little bit of interest every single day. Then step 4, when the credit card bill shows up, you pay it off in full from that account. And the best part, step 5, any interest that your money earned, that's pure profit. It is yours to keep. This is where the whole strategy gets really, really powerful. You see, it creates value from two different engines that are working for you at the exact same time. You're not just earning in one way, you're earning in two. So the first engine is that daily interest. By setting aside the cash you would have spent anyway, you're basically making that money work for you during the float period. You know, that time between when you buy something and when the bill is actually due. It creates this small but super consistent stream of income. Let's make this feel a little more real. The source gives us a great example. A monthly credit card bill of around 3,857 reais, well, by putting that cash aside in the right kind of account, it generated about 35 reais in interest that month. Now, that might not sound like a life-changing amount of money, but it's money created out of thin air, just by being smart about your payment timing. And then you've got the second engine chugging along, the credit card points. Every single time you swipe that card, you're just racking up points. You can think of these points as a rebate on all your spending, which you can then turn into cash or flights or whatever rewards your card offers. So just how powerful is this second engine? Let's circle back to that 64,000 number. That's how many points the author racked up in a single year, which they calculated was worth over 1,600 reais. I mean, that's a pretty significant return. And it's completely separate from all the daily interest we were just talking about. Okay, so obviously to make all this work, you've got to have the right tools in your toolkit. And the source is very, very specific about what you need. It really just boils down to two things. First, you need a credit card that actually gives you points or rewards without charging you a big annual fee that eats into your profits. And second, and this part is absolutely critical, you need a high-yield account that starts paying you interest from day one.
Yeah, this is a super crucial point. Not all accounts are going to work for the strategy. The source, which comes from Brazil, specifically recommends accounts like Recarga Pay or Mercado Pago. Why? Because your money starts earning interest the very same day you put it in. But it warns you to stay away from others like Nubank or PicPay, where your money has to sit there for a full 30 days before it starts earning anything. And for this method to work, that 30-day wait just makes them totally useless.
And just to be totally transparent, the author of the source material says that they personally use the Banco Inter credit card, which has no annual fee, and they pair it with a Recarga Pay account to hold the cash and get that daily interest. But here's the thing. This isn't just about earning a few extra bucks a month. The final step is what takes this from a clever little trick and turns it into a powerful philosophy for building wealth. It's all about creating a financial snowball. Remember that 35 riyals in monthly interest we talked about earlier? That small, consistent profit? That is the fuel for your snowball.
But the absolute key here is that you don't just take that extra profit and go spend it. That is not the final step of the plan.
Instead, you take that profit and you reinvest it. The source suggests buying assets that generate their own income, like stocks that pay dividends, or real estate funds. So now, the money that you earned from your spending starts earning its own money. And this chart really puts it all together. It shows you the entire beautiful cycle. You make a purchase, your cash earns daily interest. You collect that little bit of profit, you reinvest the profit, and then that investment starts paying you its own returns. The snowball just keeps rolling and getting bigger and bigger, all from that one simple change in how you pay for things.
The source material wraps up with this quote, and it just perfectly captures the spirit of this entire strategy. He who gathers money little by little makes it grow. It's not about some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about building wealth consistently by turning small, smart habits into a powerful engine for your own financial growth. So I guess the final question is, are you leaving money on the table?